And immediate stop. That was weird. Welcome to Sci-Fi Writers Playing Old School D&D. My name is Walt, and this show is brought to you by Galaxy's Edge, the premier science fiction property of military action, brought to us by Chaos Actual Nick Cole and his partner Jason Onspach. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How about you guys?
Living La Vida caffeine. And speaking of highly caffeinated, we have from the other side of the world, J Mac playing Crowley. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. I'm ready to go.
Wilbur Aloysius Cookenmeyer being played by Michael Rothman.
Howdy, howdy.
Joining us from our stable of dark ops insiders from the Galaxy's Edge insider group, we have Richardson being played by Sinokin. Jesse, how are you, sir? Other than muted. Right on. Steepling his hands like a supervillain, clad in a mustache made of iron. We have Villanueva being played by Rob.
Hello, everybody.
And don't call him legendary. He's been here for years. We have Big Benny playing yeah, that guy.
Death from below, that's me.
I'm kidding. James M. Ward playing Big Benny. How are you, sir?
Good, very good. Thank you. Ready to play.
And we have a special date coming up.
We do.
What is that day?
70 years old on Sunday.
Wow. Mike Rothman doesn't look a day over 35.
And won't ever.
And you've never had a character make it over 6th level.
Stop it. I had a 14th level wizard in Gary Gygax's game. I was the biggest level wizard in his whole game.
Nice. And nobody has since surpassed that?
Well, since he's dead, it's never going to be
surpassed. He does have descendants, dear Lord Almighty.
Yeah, but they don't run games. They just run tournaments.
I gotcha. What was like the most epic moment that you had in Gary's game as a wizard?
Oh, that's a fair question. It was the day that we fought fire giants, red dragons, fire elementals, and what is the name of that wolf that breathes fire? I can never remember it.
Hellhound.
God.
Hellhounds, thank you very much. Yeah, we fought like 50 of them. We were all 10th level, and we had a huge battle. We swallowed a ton of fire resistance potions, and we had rings of fire resistance. And we went in there and we cleaned up, and the treasure was amazing.
Damn. That's craziness.
Yeah.
Just so that we're clear about how today is probably going to go, let's see. We got boom. So we're already at a subscription bomb going on with a huge level 1 hype train. Leo Vicarius just dropped some subs. Major subs in the chat. We had Sinokin just subscribed for 4 months. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you. We had to take a week off every week.
Right on. So seeing as we took a week off, a quick recap. For our second iteration of Raid on Break Death Island, the guys had fallen into an underground lair, as it were, escaping a gaggle of skeletons that were trying to hack their heads off. There was much sadness abounding as J Mac had to leave his loyal dog, a.k.a. Matt Damon, the giant four-armed skeleton. He left Matt Damon behind to guard the door as Benny and his little gnome voice were trying to imitate J Mac and tell him to fight the skeletons. You guys remember a flurry of hands and feet as the skeletons tried to scramble into the door behind you, hit the floor, and you come into this chamber greeted by a ghostly presence that said at one point this was a major gathering point for a group that had come through possibly several hundred years before you. They had since set things up so that this could be used as a command post. And in doing so, you also found an Osprey aircraft. That aircraft was out of fuel, obviously, and had nothing going on as far as like avionics. You kicked everything back up, contacted the Broken Teeth, and they were sending fuel. And that's where we find ourselves now. So what are you guys doing to get ready for the arrival of the guys from the Ranger Company sending down fuel?
I'm pretty positive we're drinking super whiskey that was promised to us by the machine.
Well, since we've had a week off, I've developed a new strategy when fighting all these undead and necromancers. We should hold fire until we see the eyes of their whites.
Sounds like sound advice.
That's an idea, yeah.
The eyes of their whites. That is a dad joke, a D&D dad joke if I've heard one.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. Leo Vicarius in the chat saying, I'm going to gift some subs, then go downstairs and get my own open bottle of wine.
All right, there we go. That's smart.
All right, so you guys doing anything to prep the space for those guys coming in? You know that there are undead lurking about on this island, as the entire island is inhabited by undead. Some of them could be allied to you due to some peculiar elves you met not long ago. But as of right now, you know that at least one time when you opened the outer door to this stone partition right here, which is actually a lift for the aircraft, when you opened the door above you, some like ghouls or something like that dropped in and tried to throw the beat down on you guys.
So do we have the ability to make napalm or claymores or any of those good things?
They don't have anything like that available there. If you had your forge, which was the whole point of you guys kind of getting the aircraft fueled, you could do that pretty instantly. But right now, the most you got is a couple of more bottles of flaming oil that are probably in Booger's backpack.
Are the tanks in the Osprey bone dry?
They're not bone dry, but there's some like the fuel that is there has already started to separate because it's been so long.
You can't drink it, Nick.
Well,
Hey, he can try.
yeah. If we could find some floor wax and a little bit of mogas, you got napalm.
Or you know what? I'm thinking the super whiskey, that high proof whiskey probably is very flammable. What do you think?
He's got a point.
Well, that's for drinking. Don't be crazy.
Could we set up some like wire trip traps along the entrance? Maybe. I mean, they are zombies and skeletons.
So the entrance behind you has like sliding doors. So the one sliding door to get the chamber, and then you have like a descending door that turns into stairs. The stairs fold back up and then shut off the space. So there's really no place to put tripwires that side. Okay. And the other side of the room is the big, huge dais that will lift the aircraft up, or just open the outer door so that. But that's 30 feet up. And then if we're looking at the map,
I mean, from which direction are the Rangers expected to arrive?
So they're going to come through the open door, the outer door where the aircraft can be put on.
Okay.
Right. So, but if you look on the outside, there are these big cylinders. They have a little light underneath, kind of like highlighting the bluish, brackish liquid that's on the inside of them. But there's 6 of them all throughout the room.
What's the liquid?
You can't tell. It's totally encased.
Can we sample it?
What's that big red tank up there?
That is, it looks like some sort of industrial waste. It smells. It's a greenish when you stand it up and then kind of turn the cap. It's dark green. It smells kind of like battery acid. It doesn't smell good at all.
Acid's fun.
Not that kind
Maybe
of
we
acid.
could get the undead.
Yeah, really. So does the blue liquid, is it flammable?
You don't actually see a way to get into the tube.
Oh, so it's enclosed within a tube underneath.
Yeah, it looks almost like glass.
Yeah.
If you had to guess, it's some sort of like hard ceramic glass.
What about the silver cylinder over by the main entrance?
It's clearly marked, although the writing is starting to come off a little bit. Your best guess is coolant.
Coolant. Ooh, that's another good thing.
So, but yeah, you had a couple of hours before the Rangers actually showed up. So if you wanted to do anything before they made entrance, they said they would contact you once they were closer.
Well, we have to do something.
Well, that coolant tank is a pressurized vessel. We could set it up and potentially shoot it, and maybe blow up some of the zombies as they come in. Of course, you could also have bad effects on those too. I mean, it could just rocket across the room, and I don't know, impale Sanokin. We should do it.
I mean, are we in effect in a sealed room? So, is an option. I mean, obviously, an option could be just sit around and wait for the Rangers, or, I mean, is there a reason that we have to do anything?
No, you could totally sit here and do nothing, and they probably would be fine with it. But you do have some time before they show up. So if you wanted to do anything, pray for spells, study for stuff like that, or do some healing. If somebody's got some wounds, you can bind those.
I'll take lessons from our druidess.
She's upstairs.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. She's back at the beginning of the. They'd established like a safe zone from the undead, and they were doing kind of like cannon transition ops, trying to move, because you guys originally came here for cannons and shot. And there were 6 total cannons, and so far your manservant, not JR, because he's not here, but the manservant, aka Lamb, has been moving the cannons over to the ship, but it's a lengthy process, take a long time. Because it's just him doing it, pretty much.
Well, I'm all for taking that coolant canister, putting it in the middle of the door, and backing up and shooting it when the bad guys come in.
All right.
What do you guys think?
Well, what would that do?
For it.
What are you looking to accomplish?
It would blast. It would have a blast and send cold stuff all over the area, and the skeletons would freeze, and then we could chop them up.
But sometimes coolant could be poison gas that we all die.
And the canister could shoot across the room, but
you can't live forever.
It's a chaos. It sounds like chaos. I think we should do it.
So we had more subscribers dropping in. We got Leo Vicarius giving out more subs.
Man.
Huzzah!
So,
and I really love that special effect, Walt. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you. I have others, but nobody's ignited those yet.
I see.
Now.
Well, if they follow,
Okay.
if they donate, there's tons of ways. So if you want to see more cool animations, hit me up. So Leo Vicarius says it's not coolant, the blue stuff. About that, a dragon thought the Osprey was a female and made a mess.
Oh, jeez.
What's that object along the southern wall too?
You're talking. It would help if I share the screen first. Yeah. Because otherwise it gets weird.
It's an interesting concept.
Well, lots of screens, so little time.
Yeah.
You talking right here?
Yeah. What is that?
It seems like some sort of component. You're not really sure, but when you approach it, it's humming. Like not like the Smurfs when they're trying to truck down a trail, but like there's a definite like thrum going on.
So I'll use my engineer skills, whatever they may be, and try to at least not touch it, but look at up, down, sideways, try to figure out what's going on. Where are the power sources?
You figure. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say because my intelligence sure as hell didn't figure that one out.
All right, so Booger, you're looking at that big, huge cylinder, and after a couple of minutes, you think it's some sort of huge power supply, possibly even nuclear.
Interesting.
All right, let's crack that thing open.
So does it have like contacts on the ends, kind of like a giant battery would, where you'd plug it in to something?
It doesn't have like contacts like a fuse. It has like ports where something can be connected to it.
Right. Okay. Do we see anything in the Osprey that might imply that it could be run from this thing?
You'd probably need the forge to rework a whole bunch of parts in order to power it from this thing. And you don't know how long this thing has been down here. You don't know really what it is. You're going to have to study it. So, but from the way it looks and some of the symbols and terminology on the outside, you're probably guessing it's nuclear.
Yeah.
Maybe it's definitely next gen to when you left, when you guys went through the portal to come here.
Are there any rockets on the Osprey?
No. It's there are two 240 Bravo machine guns on the back. But there's no ammunition for it that you could find.
We don't want that idea.
Irritating.
Does the base have any kind of internal security, like closed security cameras, potentially maybe ones on the exterior, so we could watch avenues of approach? Probably not. But
the only thing that you've been able to do is there's like almost like an interface, a hologram or a ghost that will appear when you call for it, and then just answer questions and do things like open doors for you, stuff like that.
It makes food for us, right?
It's produced food, like it has rations that it's brought up from the floor in a storage bay.
Can I make a little red hat for Benny?
A little red hat?
I don't want a red hat. Thank you very much. Is it possible?
Red hat, red hat, red hat, red hat, red hat.
Totally not a Smurf joke.
Great. So, is it possible to get some really slippery liquids out of this machine?
The power supply?
No, the machine that makes food.
Oh, it's not a machine. They have like a storage thing that comes up out of the floor.
Cooking oil.
Yeah.
What do you have planned?
I want to make the floor really slippery so the skeletons come and fall on their butts when they come in the door.
So remind me, do we have skeletons kind of pounding on a door somewhere that we can't see? Or
back in another room, but it's sealed off right now.
Okay.
So, hey, hello, friend. Wow, RPG. What's up? Hopefully you're not a spammer. All right. So some time goes by. The holographic assistant says, if you want the floor slippery, just open the packets of macaroni and cheese, and that should do it.
Well, what do you guys think about making the floor really slippery?
Let's watch you do it.
So I take 10 packages and I make the middle of the floor by the door very slippery.
Can we change his name to Big Benny Hill?
Novea helps his formerly tall superior.
Gotcha. Benny is sliming the floor in front of the what do you call it? The big giant elevator. After a little while, the radio sparks up in the Osprey.
I will answer it.
And you hear any station this net, Archangel 4-4 over.
Go for Rock Powers.
You hear, oh my God, that's really his name?
And you're really talking to him.
It's a woman's voice. Archangel 4-4 on approach. We are deploying 2 squads of India forward. Do you copy that over?
I do copy. And what color are your eyes?
That's not what I thought he was
you hear like there's a long there's a long pause, right? And she says, "Honey, I have 3 maniacs running around that have basically ruined my plumbing and my sanity. I ain't got the time for all of this. So you're gonna open the door for us, I would assume."
Acknowledged. Copy and will go.
All right,
Crazy. Jesus.
She says, "Give me 3 mics and then hit the button."
3 mics are minutes, right?
You're supposed to know that, Captain.
You hear like
yes, Captain.
You hear like somebody like grabbing the exterior mic, like, is it really? Is that what it is?
That's funny.
She says, "Yes, Rock Powers. 3 mics is 3 minutes."
Okay. In the Air Force, we do things differently.
Oh, yeah, right.
she says, "Roger, out," and then you hear the line cut. All right. So, do you guys wait the prescribed amount of time?
Yeah, I'll tell everybody to get ready. We're about ready to open the doors. Benny, it's a good thing you've lubed up.
Did you want to warn them about the undead?
No, not particularly.
That's your squads. Undead.
Surprises are good.
Schmundead.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are opening the door, and keeping in theme with Break Death Island, we just had somebody follow us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Cabrar 03.
For the-
Thanks, man. Thanks for the follow.
That's always the play. I love that.
Oh,
Nice.
good.
You wouldn't
All right.
happen to have a picture of Nicole in there, would you?
A picture of Nicole, like what?
Like, I hope you're winning your D&D game, dear, or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's here. Yeah, we have that.
All right.
So it's around somewhere.
Okay.
I'd have to find it because things. So anyway,
All the pictures in the call game.
You're the luckiest man in the world there, buddy.
I hope you
truly
win your
am.
little D&D game, honey.
Oh, thank you.
love
That was
that.
wonderful. Oh, my goodness.
yeah, and that's how you do it. So
Yeah.
Figure out for a nice cocktail this evening.
nice.
All
Is there?
right.
Will there be Thai massages?
You know what? There are no Thai massages this week, but there's
Ah.
June is gonna be the month of Thai massages because Forgotten Ruin 3 is not gonna finish itself if I keep getting Thai.
Yeah, really, I hear you.
Right on. So the door cracks, and you're greeted to a rainfall of bodies and the staccato sound of machine gun fire from something heavy. But it's not as loud as the 240 Bravo. You could almost guarantee that whatever weapon it is, it's firing suppressed. You can hear it firing from both sides of the opening. And then you see a couple of ropes drop down. As that happens, another shower of bodies occurs and then stops abruptly as you hear a loud explosion, and then the body of a troll, probably zombified, falls through the enclosure, hits and bounces, slides across the spent macaroni and cheese to the feet of Big Benny.
All right.
Down the two ropes, you see two men in what look like a combination of laminated armor and like a plate carrier. One of the guys is wearing what looks like a Viking helmet with horns. On the top of the helmet is actually a set of night vision that's folded up. They descend down the ropes, hit the ground, look to you, and kind of give you the thumbs up. When you just flash the thumbs up like that, one of the guys reaches in and cracks two chem lights and starts making motions with his arms. At that point, you can hear the rotor wash of a helicopter coming overhead, and then they back up as more bodies hit the deck again.
We'll let the bodies hit the floor.
I have to take the head of the troll. Have to.
How are you going to carry it?
I'm not going to carry it. I just don't want it to regenerate.
I just want to see this. I want to see this tiny little guy on a slicked floor fighting this giant troll.
I'm
Well,
not
he's not
on the
fighting
slick
it.
floor. It's dead. And
Resurrect
I'm using my two magical daggers. I shouldn't have a problem.
A third guy comes down the rope, and he runs over and he says, he whistles. He's like, "Yo, who's in charge?"
We all point to the captain.
I am technically still in charge. Yes. Rock Powers. It's your
That guy,
service.
God help us.
He says, "We need to fuel this bitch and get it running. It's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes. This is a problem."
Oh, we probably should have done that in all the time we had.
He says, we're rigging the fuel now, and you can see the guys who were like making wavy, club motions with their chem lights. They're now on the ropes, and it looks like they're steadying something. He's like, we're going to bring down a fuel bladder and a generator in order to get this going, but we're going to need more help up top. We only have 2 squads with us.
Well, since I'm the pilot, everybody else go.
All right, so who's going up top with him? Anybody?
After I chop off the head, I'm going.
I'll go.
Yep.
I'll go up top.
All right. So you guys go over to the ropes, and the guy starts sitting there. He starts on the side of his armor. He's got a bunch of what looks like strapping or webbing. He shows you how to run the webbing around yourself to create a Swiss seat, and then he hands you a D-link. And he's like, you got to put this on because this is going to be fast.
Haven't we done this before?
Yeah, you've seen this stuff before.
Okay, good. No problem.
All right. So you guys rig up your Swiss seats, lock into your carabiners.
It's the opposite of fast roping.
Yep. He kind of like hooks along the rope. There are little loops, and he hooks the loops onto the carabiners. And he says, once we're up top, this is going to get messy fast. He's like, what weapons do you have?
And we show them our rifles and our grenades.
All right.
I have my spear gun and my M18.
Gotcha. J-Mac?
I have weapons.
Gotcha. He's like, does anybody need ammo?
Oh, I'll
I'll
want
take
all the
ammo.
ammo I can get. Yeah.
All right. He reaches into a bag behind himself, and he gives everybody that needs it 3 magazines for their weapons.
And what about grenades?
Yeah, I was going to ask about that too.
He's like, it's been a while.
Great. What about grenades?
He goes, do you have any?
I got 2.
He goes, I'll take them.
No, you won't.
He says, I'll trade you the helmet for the grenades. Besides, look at that. That thing's a pineapple in your hands. He goes, what are you, 12?
You have to throw it with both hands.
Yeah, really.
Like
Is
a
the
soccer ball.
Is the helmet worth having?
It looks like a steel Viking helmet with like chainmail where the face, where the mouth would be, and horns, and it's got a bracket. Looks like welded on for a what do you call it, for a night vision mount.
I'm pretty sure Benny could bathe in it.
Yeah, that's the question. Would it fit our former master sergeant?
If he thought he was adorable before, him
Well,
wearing this giant Viking
The
helmet.
gnomes still have the giant head. They just have the little child's body.
I'm not giving him my 2 grenades. I just tell him let's get going.
All right, so he hooks everybody up, and then he whistles to one of the guys with the chem lights, and you guys get yanked up. Do you guys know what stable rigging is? Have you ever heard of that?
Sure. I live for stable rigging.
So, originally done as an exfiltration technique out of Vietnam and dense jungles, it's basically you guys along a long rope. So you get yanked up, you bypass the Chinook helicopter, the double rotor-bladed helicopter that's kind of like moving sideways into position to drop the it looks like a metallic tank, almost like a fuel truck had been removed from the tires and the tractor and just had rigging laced onto it so that they can drop it into the hole. So that's moving sideways into place. You guys are being lifted up by a little bird. So basically it looks like a flying mosquito.
All right.
The helicopter raises you up out of the hole and drops you right behind 2 squads of similarly dressed men, sporting SIG rifles and machine guns, and they've established a small perimeter on a beach.
I'm thinking
Okay.
I should have joined the army. Not
Do we have enemy in sight?
Oh yeah.
Basically, in every direction.
Yeah, so there's tons of enemy. It looks like a target-rich environment. You guys can see a huge wrecked ship kind of blocking everything from the shore. There's what looks like zombies kind of crowding everybody. And your familiar friend from last time, the red robe, long-handled mace-wielding, maybe ghoul, ghast, something. He's got a face mask on, so it's really hard to tell what he is. He's on top of the ships and he's barking orders.
Wait, he was down in the thing with us last time?
Yes, and then he when you guys kicked his ass, he crawled out.
Okay.
All right. So you got a squad of Rangers kind of laying the hate on everybody in your position, and then you have another squad kind of working behind you so that you guys can't be surrounded and taken from behind. So what are you going to do?
Okay, I know how to use grenades. Do I know if I can throw them and not hit my buddies?
I know that you can't.
Yeah, you're not inside a boat this time.
Okay, I'm pitching both of them in the enemy.
All right. About how, about where? So, do you want to pitch over toward here, to where you got a couple of them, or kind of like in a gaggle over here?
I want the batch.
What's that?
I want the batch.
So probably back here, so you can get as many of them as possible.
Yes, sir.
All right. Give me an attack roll. So
I got a very nice 4.
Oh. All right. Take a D12 and roll it.
Oh, I can do that.
But close your eyes and don't look at the number.
Yeah. I got a 9.
A 9. So it bounces back. So,
I'm not near Benny, by the way.
Yeah, of course not. No.
So the kind of the zombie looking creatures that are right here, you kind of overshoot it. It hits this ladder and bounces back, and kind of hits over here near all these rocky outcroppings.
Great.
I've done that in Call of Duty.
Have you really?
Okay. Good. Very good. Then I don't feel so bad.
The Rangers that are up ahead of you dive away. You hear the word grenade shouted in kind of angry fashion. One guy that's wearing like a Spartan helmet, but the outsides of the Spartan helmet are painted with like almost to resemble googly eyes with a tongue sticking out of it. He hits the ground and he's like, "Hey, somebody get that teenager out of here."
Oh, boy.
I'm just standing. I don't move, and I just say, "You kind of get used to it."
I'm
All
so
right.
sorry.
These guys were already fighting, and they have the initiative against the undead. So we're going to start with Chaos Actual, who is downstairs still. What are you doing? Anything?
Well, I'm going to assist get the aircraft ready to go. I'm going to turn on the onboard auxiliary power unit, which should give me access to the pumps to start taking fuel on board. And then I'm going to fire up the avionics, and I'm going to see whatever it takes to get this aircraft ready to go once she can fly.
All right. So while you're doing that, you see these two Rangers that are down in the hole. They grab onto the fuel bladder, drag it out a little bit, set up a generator, and then start priming that up. So it looks like they're going to have it's going to be powered to pump, so it's not going to take as long.
Okay, cool.
All right. So that brings us to J-Mac.
Do you have line of sight on the ghoul dude?
He is up here. So, and you are right here.
Can I hit him?
Yeah, because the boat is angled against these rocks.
Okay,
So,
I want to shoot at him.
All right. He's AC 2.
Okay.
So
I rolled a 17.
All right.
That sounds good.
What's your base attack bonus?
I believe it's 3, but I have one other plus somewhere.
All right. So yeah, 17 definitely hits him. You're shooting with the Mark 18?
Yeah.
All right. Give me some damage. That's 2d6.
What nice damage.
2.
2.
What?
Yeah, I know.
It knocks. He's got like this really weird elongated helmet. Almost makes him look like one of the alien xenomorphs from the movie franchise Alien, but it's painted red. And what do you call it? The chat is demanding that hat end up on Big Benny. But you knock off the helmet and kind of clip the side of his eye. the massive talon hand slaps his face as he looks away, kind of in pain and disgust. And that's going to bring us to Booger.
All right. So we've got a bunch of ghouls down below the wreckage and some bigger guy above.
Yep. So if you look right here, you got a bunch of ghouls, or maybe zombies.
Okay.
Some of them definitely look like zombies.
Okay.
Like masticated flesh, rotting, joints and stuff missing. But then some of them that are kind of mixed in are dressed the same. But their skin is much better looking. The only difference is the sides of their mouth coming off of their kind of like their jawline is black almost up to the ear. And their teeth are razor sharp.
And what's the story with the guy on top, on the boat?
He's wearing red robes and armor, but he looks a lot like the guys with like the blackened mouths, except he's wearing a mask, so it's really hard to tell what he's got going on under there.
Robes, maybe magic, maybe bad. Okay, what? He's injured. I'll take a shot at that guy with my rifle.
Go ahead.
And I roll a 20.
Oh.
Ooh.
Give me a percentage roll, please.
A percentage roll. Let's do that. I roll a 46.
46. You blow a round right through his knee. It what do you call it? It tumbles him all the way down the deck, and he hits this broken mast, and it impales itself straight through his belly. He roars in pain as he kind of like looks back and like holds on to the sections of protruding. I'm not going to say protruding wood because the chat is going to go crazy. Yeah. So he grabs onto the piece of lumber that is sticking out of his back, and he's like trying to push himself off of it. That brings us to Richardson.
All right, I'm going to try to take just a straight shot at the nearest ugly guy that we have coming towards us.
That would be this guy right here?
Yeah.
All right.
That would be a natural 20.
Okay.
Wow. A natural 20, James.
James, is it true that natural 20s were not a thing back in the day?
He has muted himself.
I got him. Go ahead.
No, I didn't. It's true that they weren't a big deal. They just were another number on the dice.
And when did they become natural 20, James?
Gary got a lot of heat in Dragon Magazine, and so he decided to change it. And it wasn't an 8. I think I don't think it was in the first AD&D, but it was in the second.
All right. So give me a percentage roll, Richardson.
54.
54. You smack it in the hip. It tumbles into the sand, kind of like looking as its hip separates from its upper torso. So it's kind of like it's only hanging by the flesh on the other side, and it starts like slapping its hands into the sand and then pulling itself forward.
Nice.
All right, so that brings us to Villanueva.
The rogue dude. Can I get a pretty good beat on him with my spear gun?
Yes.
Then I will take a shot at him. 19.
Ooh.
Rolls today.
Yeah, really good rolls. 19.
Been one better.
All right. The spear impales right into his neck, where his neck meets his like the trapezius muscle, right here at the top. It protrudes out and whacks him back, almost breaking his back, and pins him to the deck on that side. He does not look happy about anything that's going on, especially since you just pinned him up like that. Can you give me a wisdom roll, please?
Yeah. I rolled a 20.
Okay, you don't know anything. That
Why
brings us
couldn't the 20 been before?
to Big Benny.
I gotta throw my last grenade. I just have to.
Okay, where are you throwing it?
I'm throwing it at the pile.
sweet.
I'm throwing at the pile. It's far to the right there.
Okay, go for it.
And the answer is a 15 this time.
There we go. Now we're talking. All right, give me damage. Should be 3d6.
3d6, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. And the answer is 13.
All right. These three all take a hit as the explosion goes off, sending shrapnel from the metallic body of the grenade into them, lacerating them like crazy. It blows them into the sand. This particular one right here, it looks like a bunch of the fragmentation took its head clean off from the mouth up.
Oh, dang it.
It stands for a moment until it just flops over in the sand, kind of like a piece of driftwood coming off the beach. The Rangers open up. One of them yells out, "Protect the little kid!"
I'm so going to get him after this battle.
They start lighting up the beach. The two that are closest to you, they get ripped up and eventually get headshots on them, and they hit the beach. So this one right here looks like it's finished, but the rest of them are still, while injured, mobile.
Dang it.
That brings us to them. So Red Robes guy, he shouts something in a language you don't understand. Rich Crowley, you understand it. He says, "Reinforcements now."
That can't be good.
I want to go home. I want to go home.
So he shouts reinforcements. These two that haven't been injured yet, they take off at a sprint. One of them manages to get all the way here and jump at this particular ranger. Let's see if he hits him. And he does. The thing tackles him to the ground. The guy has his rifle up, and the thing's jaw, where that black line is, it's almost like a python. His mouth disarticulates, the teeth sort of lengthen a little bit, and it's snapping like almost like a snapping turtle trying to bite through the weapon to get at the soft, squishy dude underneath. And he looks like he's struggling with that dude. This dude,
I yell at him and remind him to shoot the eyes of the white.
This guy runs, but he only manages to get to here, and it looks like he's heading straight for Richardson. And that brings us back around. Chaos Actual.
How much fuel do we have on board?
About maybe 7-8 gallons.
That's enough to start with, right?
Yeah.
Let's start the engines.
All right. So you start priming?
Yes.
All right. So you hear that big whine like that as everything starts coming to power. Lights switch on. You get that little tingle as you hit the pilot's chair.
I am both emotionally and physically erect. I look for the fortunate son button.
You don't get a fortunate sun button, but there is a toggle switch that says strike for inspiration.
Ooh, I strike it.
You get like a small on the small screens that are in front of you. It looks like a playlist coming up.
I haven't heard rock music since forever. Well, I should drink a little. Just a little, because I'm about to fly.
Flying drunk might be a thing.
He'd have been a fine pilot in my dad's company in Vietnam.
I think John Denver was drinking before he plowed into the Monterey Bay.
Oh, did he?
I think so.
But he wasn't listening to Taylor Swift.
No.
Maybe he was.
Maybe.
I'd pop myself into a mountain if I was listening to Taylor Swift. Just saying.
J-Mac, what are you doing?
These things are undead, right? They're like zombies.
Yes, you can hear them. Most of the whispers that you're hearing are all about like hunger, like devouring, chewing, gnawing.
This one on my ranger buddy right in front of me. I raise my weapon, but I yell at it. And I go, "Stay down, bad boy."
Give me a give me a charisma check. Excuse me.
Nice.
Make it.
I want to see what
do I have to roll?
You want to roll your charisma score or below?
Okay, I got a 5, which is probably
That is really good.
Sweet.
It recoils as though it's in pain, and it tries a couple of more bites. But you're like, no, bad dog, and the thing like it looks like you just sprayed its nose with water.
Nice.
And it jumps off of him.
Okay, so instead of shooting it, I'm gonna shoot at the guy on the boat again.
All right, go ahead. He's at AC 4 now that he's pinned to the deck.
I rolled an 18, so it should be a 22.
And 2d6.
Come on, 2d6. That's better. Okay, I hit a 6 total.
How much?
6, better than 2.
Yes. So you hit the spear right next to where Villanueva had pinned it to the deck. It cracks the spear and kind of like he's like pulling his trying to pull his shoulder away from the deck. It looks like if he keeps going this way, he might be free. But as he's doing that, he's also ripping his shoulder off.
Ooh.
That brings us to Booger.
All right. I'll take another shot at our. Actually, no. I'm going to lob some fire in the far off direction. Try to, kind of where the red X is. Try to catch as many as I can.
Okay, go for it.
And I roll a 14.
All right, 2d6 damage.
I roll an impressive 11.
Nice. The bottle breaks, igniting the flask. It spreads across the beach with like this, like whoof. And you see the beach and the oil catch fire. A couple of them are caught in the flames, and they start recoiling from it. J-Mac can actually hear them, and it's weird because a normal person would all be kind of
Ouch.
like screaming, yelling, trying to pat themselves off. The zombies are just like fire bad. So that's basically all he's hearing. They're not terrified by it, but it's not something that's coming off that they're particularly fond of either. So that brings us to Richardson.
I am going to take a shot at the guy that's charging towards us that didn't quite make it.
Go for it.
And that would be a 9.
9?
Yeah.
That does not hit. So you put a couple of rounds, like a double tap, right into the beach. It doesn't stop, but at the same time, it kind of like football jukes around it where the rounds hit to try and get a new angle on you guys. Villanueva.
Can I swap to my Mark 18 or my M18 pistol carbine? Yeah, and take a quick shot on the one charging at us.
Go for it.
19.
Give you damage, 2d6.
We'll stop spinning. 8.
You blow 2 rounds right into its thigh. It trips and stumbles along the rocks, and gets it's a pretty heavy hit. It's like hitting a wet towel on concrete is the sound he makes as he slaps into the rock face. He hits the ground and like it shakes off his head. It's one of the ones with like those black mouths that he's propping himself up. He looks hurt, but not finished off. Benny.
Okay, so there's that zombie that just let go of the ranger. He was biting at his rifle.
Yes.
Is there a chance that I could get a backstab on that boy?
You want to sneak around?
I want to give it a try.
You could start the stalk right now, and then give me the effect next round.
Okay.
All right. That brings us to the Rangers. They open up. Rangers. So Sparky getting a little weird in the chat. So they light up the dude that Villanueva just dropped into the dirt, finishing him off in a spray of wet, like brackish, bluish blood all over the rock face. And then they finish off this dude right here, who somebody capped earlier, and put him down for good. That brings us back around. Chaos Actual.
Let's see. How are we doing? Am I all filled?
You are probably about halfway.
Damn. Okay. I'll continue feeling.
Do you put on the ancient helmet that's there?
Oh, yeah, I do that. I know what that does.
Oh, Lord.
You can't stop this feeling.
So you put that on. What do you call it? It's got the slide down visor so that you can protect yourself from glare. When you put down the visor, it's like an augmented reality all around you.
Mm-hmm.
Screens that would normally be forward facing that you'd have to look kind of like angle your vision down to away from the windscreen are now easily called up. And as you start like calling out screens, any screen you call out comes up, so it sounds like it's voice activated.
Sweet. Ooh,
How does his cloak deal with augmented reality?
You don't know. He's been strangely quiet throughout this endeavor.
Interesting.
So the going to JMac.
Yeah, I just want to keep shooting this dude on the dock or on the boat.
All right, you gonna hit him again?
I hope so. Let's see. I'm gonna roll a 1.
Oh, give me a percentage die roll, please.
You shoot yourself in the head.
No,
68.
68. Weapon jam. So you're gonna have to spend this round clearing it.
Okay, I'll do that. I clear it.
That's funny, Sparky. All right. So you clear your weapon. Brings us to Booger.
All right. So what's our stat? I guess I can't tell how damaged anybody is. So, let me. Yeah, I'll go work on the guy on the boat. Yeah, see if I can take another shot at him and see if we can put him out of his misery.
Gotcha.
And I got a 18.
18. Go ahead. Give me damage.
And a 9.
9. All right. So you plow around straight into the area right because you can't really see his face. He's got this mask with like this big, almost like a scarf wrapped around his neck. But you see bits of cloth go flying both in front and behind him as the round punches through his throat, and he just slumps.
That's a good sign.
All right. That brings us to Richardson.
All right. I'm going to try again to shoot the guy that I tried to shoot last time.
Blow on your dice.
Is it? No, he's down. Oh no, this guy right here.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
All right.
I am not picky.
Go for it.
19, 20, 25.
Oh, nice.
Jeez.
All right. So you tap the trigger, right? Sending 2 rounds into his chest. It does really nothing to slow his momentum as he's getting up. And then you plant one right in the bridge of his nose. His head snaps back. You hear an eerie crack of his spine breaking. And then he just flops into the sand.
Sounds good.
That brings us to Villanueva.
Can I reload my spear gun and make a shot in this turn?
Give me a dexterity check.
Okay. 19.
Oh, no. You can reload it this turn.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, so you're going to reload your spear gun. Brings us to Benny.
Now, the guy I was going to backstab just got nailed to the floor, right?
No, that's this guy. You were sneaking up on this dude.
Okay, well, I hit him, and I'm using my magical dagger. So I would like to do 12 points. The black magical dagger that does blood damage.
Yep.
Okay, I got a 12 points of damage.
All right, so he's got that ranger close by. That's right here, and you see the thing disarticulate its jaw. It hisses, almost like a cat, as it extends its teeth, and he's bringing his arms back with his these huge talons on his fingers, like he's getting ready to lunge at the guy. The blade comes out of his mouth, and then you twist sharply until his neck breaks, and the top of his head comes off.
Yeah, talk about a 4-foot guy now, big ranger.
He don't look like much, but he's got it where it counts.
That's right.
The ranger you just saved looks at the one who's been making all the kid jokes. He's like, "Holy crap! Your adopted son is angry."
Have you ever seen Chucky?
Yeah, really.
Oh no, the Chucky joke's gonna be glorious.
There's a little run cap.
All right, so the zombies on the other side are burning. The ones on this side are all taken care of, and the one in the red cloak is just kind of hanging there with the beach breezes kind of like billowing his cloak. What do you guys do?
I want to loot the dude on the boat.
All right, so you start traveling up there?
Yeah, I'm gonna anything that's even remotely moving. I'm gonna Dr. Undead Doolittle. I'm gonna talk with the undead.
Nothing is unalive here.
Okay.
But yeah, you get up to the thing, and its mask is hanging off, and except for like a little seam at its mouth, its face looks normal. It looks like a person.
Okay.
Take his head.
You can do that. I want the mask, and I want to check his gear for other stuff.
Check his robe.
That's not my style.
So he's got what's kind of like a breastplate, set of armor with arm guards and shin guards. He's wrapped almost like a mummy for the rest of him, and he's wearing a red cloak, and he's got the red hat sitting on the deck beneath his feet.
Okay, I want all his gear except the bandages. I don't want to look like a mummy.
I want the red for Benny.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Turn him into little red caps.
I mean, which is worse, being Chucky or Papa Smurf?
Oh my God, the memes will be glorious. They will be glorious. So yeah, you pull that off of him, and then you get a whisper of something. Reinforcements are here, my lord.
Sweet.
Great.
How best to utilize us?
Just hang out for now, but stick around. I might want you later.
You get like a hissing sound, and it says, "My lord, please clarify."
I do the Han Solo thing. We're all good here now. Things are good.
I think Crowley's losing his mind.
And while things are good, Nick, would you want to tell us about the premier military science fiction property, Galaxy's Edge?
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Galaxy's Edge Season 2 has begun in all its glory. It rocketed straight to the top of the charts. Everybody loves it. It's something that you should really jump in and get involved in right now. It's I think it's like almost 20 novels over on Galaxy's Edge, over in Amazon. You can get involved at the very beginning story, or if you like mercenary stuff, there's the Tyrus Rex. There's Galaxy's Edge Legionnaire right there. That is the first place to start. I would encourage you highly to go over and pick it up. You're going to need some summer reading once the weather warms up here and we all go to the beach and get in our thong bikinis. So make sure to pick that up. And over today on my Substack, Nick Cole Substack, there is a short story. You can pick it up if you want to read it.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So you're looting the body, and then you start hearing those whispers, and, it's like, my lord, please clarify. And then you throw the Han Solo.
That's my go-to.
And it says, the Lord is dead. Are you the new Lord?
Yes.
Great.
Lesson learned from Ghostbusters.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So from
Satan versus Lichdom.
From the beach, you hear some of the Rangers like, back up, back up, back up. And then you hear one of them like, grab the kid. So it's in the center of the Rangers. The sand kind of grows into a mound and then parts. The thing that crawls out is approximately 12 feet long, and a good chunk of it is still in the sand. It's got a head of like a serpent, but like arms like a man. But coming off its back are 6 radiating like different serpents of different types. And it says, who is it that commanded me?
Can I shoot it?
Who is my new lord?
Probably not a good idea.
Not it.
It turns and it looks at you the second you say that.
Uh-oh.
Daddy.
Just tell him we need somebody to carry some cannons to the boat.
And bring liquor back.
Yeah, we have a job for you. Are you up to the task?
And it slithers over to you, exposing the rest of its bulk from the sand. Standing up from its torso at least 12 foot off the beach, and its tail extending another 15 feet behind it. It kind of brings its head down to you, and the serpents off its back kind of like encircle you a little bit. Not threatening, it's just like they're moving about you like a python might kind of wrap around somebody for warmth. And it says, what is your command?
Crowley's getting this no space 5 lady.
Yeah, I am. We have a couple barrels of liquor that you can carry for us. Take it back to the ship for us.
He says, carrying is for slaves, if you like. And he taps his talons across the helmet of one of the Rangers, and the guy's like, whoa, nope, seen this movie, not happening. He goes, I can make slaves of these if you like.
Wait, you can? Is there a height requirement for this?
He says, you speak strangely, speak plainly. And it sounds like he's becoming upset.
Yeah, it's not easy to rock powers at the expert level.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
Yeah. Don't piss it off, Crowley.
I'll take a quick step back away from them.
Yeah,
I would like to take a quick step back, but I get the feeling I can't.
I have my spear gun ready.
So,
do you want me to teach you, Crowley? Like, do you want to?
Yeah, I need rock powers.
Do you want to have my Obi-Wan voice that I learned from TAC officer, whatever the fuck that guy's name was?
I think Benny.
The guy with the good hair.
When in charge, be in charge.
I think Benny needs
That's
to use small fights. Just sneak up behind it and just split its mini throat.
Benny's ready to go. Just tell me, DM, when it's my turn.
Okay, I'll gladly pass my turn to Benny.
He looks like he'd be a good snack.
We could try throwing Benny at it. Like, get a jump start on it.
What do you do,
gnome
Benny?
tossing's a thing.
I'm getting a backstab on the bastard.
Oof. Go for it.
I got a very nice 18.
All right. Give me damage.
I'm looking forward to this.
James, let's stop here for a second and talk about, like the level of incaution that you play as a player, but that you insisted on as a DM.
Okay, and that's fair. My chaotic ability as a player is that I like to see action all the time. And so when other people are cautious and careful, I go into a completely opposite mode. Now, I realize that this thing can probably eat me for lunch after I stab it and do my points of damage, but I have fun until that time.
But like, having said that, I understand that. And that's, I think that's a good way to play, because chaos always gives you the momentum.
Yes, exactly.
But if we had done that if you were DMing you would be dead.
No, I don't think so. Because I beg to differ, my good friend. I got all my hit points. I'm pretty tough on an armor class, so I'm looking good in this fight.
So if you were going through Greyhawk as run by James M. Ward, you would behave this way.
I did behave this way.
That scares me.
That's probably why he needed all those wishes.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, well, I'm keen to see what happens.
All right,
I am too.
You,
it would be a bummer if your birthday was ruined by your character death.
I know, it'd be awful. That'd be okay.
I'm stepping back as he does this.
All right, so you got the backstab. What was the damage?
Right. Okay, so I'm using the dagger that's a -1 on a 1d6, and I got a very respectable 15.
Gotcha. All right. So you stab it. It arcs its back. And
I immediately say, I don't know him.
It yells out, "Demon child."
That's me. Yeah, there we go.
The snakes on its back wrap around you and start to constrict. Give me a saving throw.
Okay. And what's it against, buddy? Magic, constitution, strength? You tell me.
Angry hugging.
That isn't on my list.
You're being loved to death.
So I'm just giving you a number on a 20-sided die.
So it should be. It should be. Let's see. I have it right here. Hold on one second.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thievery. The thief. Saving throw. Have you hit level 2 yet as a thief?
Yes, sir.
So you need a 13 or higher.
13 or higher. That shouldn't be a problem. I got a very nice natural 20.
That's how you do games.
Nice. The serpents try and coil around you, and you do that thing that little kids do where you're like, "Nuh-uh," and you just slip right through and hit the beach.
Sounds great.
It whirls around, knocking several of the rangers over as it kind of like fills the space they were in.
Great.
And now we have to roll for initiative. So right now it appears to only want to deal with Benny, but that's up to you guys. He has a 19 for initiative.
Oh, that's nice.
Probably could command it not to kill Benny.
I could.
You could, but he's not gonna. I'm gonna roll initiative for my group, and I roll this beautiful 4.
Okay. 2 of the snake heads over its back open their mouth, and it looks like they spit venom.
Yeah, of course.
Go ahead and thanks, Leo. So go ahead and give me another saving throw.
Is it a poison save this time?
It is a poison save, so you need a 13 or higher.
There we go. I know I can do this. I got a very nice natural 20.
Oh my goodness!
Must be birthday dice. All right.
So you dodge out of the way. The poison covers the rocks and the body of the downed zombie that somebody had splashed earlier.
That's happy.
the venom starts eroding both the rocks and the body of the.
Of course it does.
So that brings us back to you.
I'm going downstairs.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my armor class.
What are you wearing?
I think I'm wearing banded leather.
Banded leather, so that's.
You look like a gimp or something.
I've got a 6 normally and a 5 for giant class creatures.
Right. And what's your dexterity?
Well, I have a great dexterity. It's an 18.
All right, so that's so yeah, you got a 5 armor class.
Okay, that sounds good. So now, what do you need me to do? Am I attacking? Is that what?
You're attacking right now.
Okay, I'm using 2 daggers. I know that one is at a large minus, but I don't care.
Oh, you're gonna whack at him twice?
With my magical daggers.
-2, -4.
Yeah,
that's the shot here soon.
And what's its class? What's its armor class, buddy?
0.
Okay, 0. Okay, so 1 hit, 1 missed.
All right.
I do. Yeah. I died.
Damage.
I did 4 points of damage.
Right on.
It's got 2 magical bloody blows to it.
Right. The what do you call it? The one slit is kind of like bleeding profusely. Leo Vicarius. Banded leather is only weird if there's a gag ball. Benny's armor is fine. Oh wait, that's not a throat guard.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
There goes the family-friendly rating.
Yeah, really.
It recoils back, and one of the other heads spits at you again. Go ahead and give me a saving throw.
All right, my friend. Poison again?
Sort of, yeah. Death hugs. 13 or higher.
All right. I got a 13 on the head.
All right. You kind of dodge out of the way just in time, and this big glop, it looks like somebody hocked a loogie, but when it hits, it hardens.
Ooh, yuck.
It backs all the way up, and it brings its head level with you, J-Mac, and it says, "Is this dog yours?"
I'm going to ask Benny if he wants me to talk to a monster.
Shoot him, kill him, shoot him, kill him.
No, I don't know him. He's not mine.
Okay.
Don't know anything about this guy.
So as you say that, the Rangers all look at you like, "Wait, what?"
Come on.
Is this my attack though?
No.
Yeah. I'm just
observing.
Yeah. Benny made fun of me for talking to undead.
Benny, what are you going to do? Anything?
Is it my turn again?
It is. The Rangers don't know what to do because they keep
Rangers aren't shooting him?
No, because he
Benny, why don't you act like a little boy who needs help and say help, help, help?
Because I'm not. Because I'm a 4 foot tall death from below norm. No.
Norm.
All right.
I'll take a shot when it's my turn.
I'm glad to hear that.
There was a Norm's restaurant where
we're going to save our little guy.
I did indeed get another hit. And I got 4 more points of magical dagger damage. Sorry, Nick.
That's okay. Interestingly, there was a Norm's restaurant near me that Death from Below would have applied.
There we go.
All right, Villanueva, what are you doing? You said
I'm going to take a shot with my spear gun because, God, guys, aren't we going to help him? I mean,
I'm so very proud of you. Thank you.
I don't understand though.
He's James M. Ward, and he was mean to us for a year and 2 years.
I rolled an unadjusted 10. So 11.
Yeah, it flies by one of the snake heads, and the head just turns around completely backwards and looks at you and hisses. For its turn, it says, "This will be repaid," and it kind of gets in front of your face, Crowley, and he says, "To both of you," and it plows itself back into the sand.
Oh, left.
So I get a backstab before it leaves?
No, it circled around behind Crowley, so Crowley was in between you.
Crowley, you're useless.
Is it still attacking, or is it?
No.
No.
It's disappearing
It's
under the
It-
sand.
It left in fear.
It dismissed us all.
No. What happened? That one head turned and saw my mustache and freaked out.
It could be.
Oh my god. Maybe the Rangers should shoot at Benny just in case he's being mind controlled by something.
Oh
sinister.
boy.
Is there still a undead army on standby?
I think that was it.
Yeah.
You don't know. You think that was the reinforcements that he called.
Okay.
And the truth is Benny is being controlled by something sinister.
It's James M. Ward.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so one of the Rangers comes up and kind of like puts his like finger on your chest, J-Mac, and he's got his hand on the drag, like on the back collar of Benny's armor, and he's like, "All right, so what's the deal with Demon Child? Either it's Chucky reincarnated, or he's working for you. What is it?"
Okay, and is there a chance in the world that I can use jujitsu on this guy and throw him to the ground? I am actually a trained artist in jujitsu.
You could give it a try. What do you say, J-Mac?
I'm gonna let Benny's actions speak for himself.
There we go. Good.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
I hope I do well. What's his armor class?
His armor class is 2.
So you're attacking the Rangers that came to help save us, right?
No, I'm not. I'm using jujitsu on a fool who's grabbed me by the neck.
Okay.
Nobody gets to do that. Armor class 2. Okay, it's a successful maneuver, whatever happens.
He's going to. All right, so you go to try and do a single leg takedown.
Yeah, that sounds good.
He sprawls. Give me a saving throw.
Give you a saving throw against what?
He's basically counterattacking your attack.
Okay, that sounds fair. So, is it against my dexterity? What's it against, big guy?
It's a saving throw.
Okay, but usually you have something to roll against.
So,
but if you say, I'll just roll it and give you a number.
In the rule set, the saving throws are part of the character class. So, and you advance as you go, but it's just a saving throw. There's no separate ones for death or blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
it's just
buddy.
Saving throw. So it should be 13 or higher.
I got a 15.
15. All right. So he tried to kind of like push your head into the sand, but you pulled back just in time, and he kind of kneels, and he's like, "All right." And he looks at you, Crowley, and he says, "This thing is. You need to leash this." And he's like, "We're going on patrol to push back if something else comes over the top of this boat."
And nobody else says, "Nobody messes with Papa Smurf."
And technically, isn't Benny Master Sergeant now?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, he outranks me. Like,
oh crap! Sorry, Master Sergeant. I did not get the memo.
All right, so the Rangers start setting up another perimeter on the beach. While this is all going on, they finish refueling the Osprey.
Yeah,
Lift off.
I'm taking zombie heads and I'm tossing them all by the ladder to separate them from the bodies.
I try to recover what spears I can.
Okay, so one of the Rangers calls down over the radio, and the guy that was doing the refueling comes up and hands you the radio, Chaos.
All right, I take it.
He says, "How long is it going to take you to prime everything once you're fully fueled and get this thing airborne?"
I will tell him exactly how long it will take.
He says, "All right, we're setting up a perimeter now." He goes, "We're having some problems with your 12-year-old. You're gonna have to deal with that when this all goes down." He's like, "But listen, we got some pretty strange enemy action on the beach, so we're gonna start creating a perimeter. We need you to get this thing airborne as soon as possible so that we can get the hell out of here." And then he turns around to you guys and he says, "Listen, they're going to run a strafing run on the beach. I need you guys over by these rocks right now."
okay.
Well, clearly we're going by the rocks.
All right. So you guys kind of like make your way there, do your thing, and the little bird passes over the beach. There's something that sounds like the frantic burping of an angry god as the Vulcan cannon on the bottom, the M135 goes kinetic and starts ripping up the beach. It makes 2 passes and then takes off. You see some guy kind of like hanging outside. He pushes his hand forward. There's a blue flash, and then the helicopter disappears.
Nice.
Off in the distance, you can hear the sound of what kind of appears to you like an angry egg beater as the Chinook helicopter is circling back around towards you guys. What do you call it? You hear the engines of the Osprey kicking up down below. While that engine is kind of coming to power,
I got a bad feeling.
No. Well, it depends. It depends on how charismatic Michael is. You want to talk about the Planeswalker?
Oh, sure. So the Planeswalker, it's all about an ex-military guy who medicaled out and finds himself a employee of a clandestine government organization and finds himself in a situation that no one thinks would be possible. It's actually on sale today's last day, and if anyone's interested, 99 cents or Kindle Unlimited. It won't get cheaper than that, I'll tell you that.
Right on.
It's a wonderful book. I read it and I really enjoyed it.
Right on. I like the dude like sitting down in just his t-shirt because that's what you do on deployment. You just throw everything off and just like, oh god, soak up air conditioning for the 30 seconds till they have to go back out in 135-degree heat.
Yep.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. What was the cover process like for that?
It was actually we had an idea of having a poster and the guy staring at a picture, and the poster kind of showed the scene. So I was trying to show two things because the book starts off very much like a techno thriller, kind of, even maybe military, type of theme, but eventually you get into a fantasy story, very D&D like in many ways, or lit RPG, whatever we want to call it. But it's an experiment. Most people wouldn't have expected that from me, but yeah. Hey, there you go.
There you go. All right, so Chaos Actual is below. The whine of the helicopter goes. The guy who was doing the fueling starts pointing to the other dude that's in the chamber with you. And you see kind of like looking out the back where the ramp is, 4 guys descend on ropes and start moving through the chamber. The guy who was fueling runs in and he says, second chair.
Do it.
He puts on a helmet and he goes, it's going to be nice to have a little more testosterone in the cabin. Let me tell you, because Archangel 4/4, right? Amber.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that girl is crazy.
Yeah. How does she look?
He's like,
she's so batshit crazy. You're sure she sleeps upside down.
Rock Powers is reconsidering this.
When they look great and they're crazy, don't steer away.
He goes, yeah, she was one of the first ones of us that kind of went native and then eventually came back. There was a big, and he's like flipping switches as he's talking. He's like, there was a thing. She fell in love with this, like local. And when I say local, I mean like, and he like makes like he's like, and things were going great until there was a big dust up in like Minotaur land or something like that. And he got smoked and she came back to us, which win-win because she's a great pilot.
Yeah. And good looking too.
And batshit crazy.
The best kind.
Well, if things don't work out with my other prospect, I got a B team.
He goes, don't let her ever hear you say B team. All right. So he hits a switch and the 2 machine guns that are off the back ramp kind of slide in and the ramp comes up. And he's like, do you think you can turn this thing around in here?
Oh, yeah, totally. I know how to do that. I used to fly planes.
He goes, wait a minute. You've flown one of these before, though, right?
I mean, roughly. It's this and it's that. On the rudders. I mean, they all fly the same in the end.
He goes, so you've never flown a VTOL aircraft with rotor wings that will transition in flight?
No, but I'm really good with the C-130.
He goes, oh God, right? So you just start hovering off the ground.
It's fine. He's been drinking.
Yeah, and I've been drinking. Superpower for me.
if my character was was smarter, I would be demanding that the captain take a check flight around the island for about 30 minutes, and then we'll get on. I don't care what's actually on the beach.
I promoted myself to Commodore, so I don't have to deal with it. I promoted myself to pirate. I'm good.
We're all gonna die.
All right, so you kind of like hover off the ground and rotate in place.
Yeah.
Give me a piloting check. So yours, I believe, is a 4, 5, or 6 on a D6.
Okay. And I have
Be
like
successful
super jockey stick skill and all that kind of
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
I got a 5.
All right. So you rotate this thing in place without scuffing anything. You kind of like
do this while I'm doing. I look over and like this. Look, I'm only using one eye.
Oh my God. He's just like he's like putting his hand up so he can't see you, right? And he's like looking out to kind of give you a second set of eyes so that you can maneuver. You do a vertical sideways drift until you get to the pad, and then land the wheels back on the pad. Appearing just outside the canopy is that like kind of like floating holographic assistant. Its gnomish features kind of stare at you, and those weird like nictating membrane eyes blink a few times, and he just points toward the ceiling, as if to say, "Going up."
Yes. Well, first I'm going to activate the toggle switch that gives me a sound. And then I will fly us out of the hole.
Goes down to Georgia.
So you don't even wait for the elevator; you just fly straight up.
Yeah, that's how you do it. You gotta show people who's boss.
All right, give me another piloting roll.
You're gonna crash now.
I'm gonna get a 2.
All right, so you guys are on the outside on the beach, right? And you hear the heavy whine of a rotary engine. You see the twin propellers come out from the cavernous mouth of this elevator passage. A zombie comes out of nowhere looking to jump on, and it's eviscerated, spraying all over the place by the rotors, slapping it all around. You see, what do you call it? Rock Power is in the screen, kind of like doing like this, right? And then when his hand comes off, the action, the plane drops.
Isn't that great?
It comes back up again, and he's still doing this. And you see the co-pilot like looking at him like. The co-pilot looks at you and says, "Where are we going?"
Well, I should pick up my people, right?
All right, we're going to dust them off. He goes, "Do you want me to do that so you can continue whatever it is you're doing, Commodore?"
Yeah, that'd be good. I'll let you do it for a while.
He goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe it!" Right? And he just starts mumbling. The whole thing rotates in place and drops the ramp, exposing two 240 Bravo machine guns on the deck. You also see the Chinook coming in across the beach. The Rangers look like they're heading for that one.
Can I go with the Rangers?
He says, "What do you call it?" You see one of the guys that was with the Rangers, but he's not dressed the same way. He's dressed in a flight suit. He comes on and he takes a case off the deck and threads a belt into one of the 240s, and then jumps to the other side, and he's going like this.
Nice.
Chaos, you hear like a clip sound through your headset, right? And you hear "Crew Chief on the back."
Sweet. I will give that a 2-click acknowledge.
You guys board up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah. I would love to strap in and man that gun.
All right. Well, there's 2 of them. There's one per side.
The other one.
I don't think it's tall enough.
Did he put ammo in both of them?
Yes.
Do they have a booster seat for Benny?
Stop it!
You can hold him up.
Just a couple of telephone books. It's fine.
Yeah, as what do you call it? As Benny goes to get in, the crew chief is like, he checks the buckles, and then like he takes his knuckle, and he He hits the buckle to make on each side to make sure that the straps are secure, and then he points to you like this, turns to the side, breaks out a big fat Sharpie, and then he pats you on the back. And as he leaves, it's got like measurement marks, and it says you must be tall to ride this tall to ride. So the what do you call it? He goes in, he repeats the same process to you. Who was on the other side? It was Villanueva, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He repeats the same process, checking the buckles and stuff like that. And then on the side of the plane, he draws kind of like a smiley face with his tongue sticking out. Right. The Chinook lands. You guys are still kind of like, the skins of the aircraft are cavitating. You guys are doing your thing. The co-pilot looks at you and says, later, bro. He takes the helmet off and runs out the back.
Great.
Nice.
Another guy comes in, but he's already got a helmet on.
Yeah.
Straps in, kind of like pulls the buckles and goes like this.
Roger that. Let's lift off.
He points. He like points to you in the stick.
Yeah.
Are you flying or him?
I'm flying. Oh, I'm flying. I'm Captain Rock Powers. I used to Air Force at the expert level.
He got kind of like does one of these, right? And then goes like this, right? Like pointing at an instrument panel.
Yeah.
And he's got his fingers like this near the instrument panel, right? And when you look down, he just starts laughing.
Why?
He goes like this, right? And I assume you pick up and start, getting off the island. Yeah. As you start raising off the island, you can see swarms of undead like moving across the island towards your position. You also notice that the thing that you killed with all the red robes and stuff like that is gone.
We're going to see him again.
Thanks, James.
Should have taken his head like I suggested.
That's your duty, man. We're
All right, you hear over the radio from the Chinook. So you guys start like doing like a slow bank of the island. You can see the camp that was set up by your druid friend. She's still on the beach with that camp, and it looks like a rock concert down there, like you might have in like the sands of like Nevada. When they do those like big desert concerts and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's just her and a couple of the guys along with Lamb. They got a stack of cannons down there with shot, and they're surrounded by undead.
Well, we'll take care of that.
Benny will take care of that.
You hear over the radio, this is Archangel 4-5 calling over to declare call sign over.
Our call sign is the Harpy's Whore.
There's silence for a minute, and it says Harpy's Whore. This is Archangel 4-5.
This is Harpy's Whore 19.
Oh my God!
Not 19.
He says 19. This is 4-5. Those your personnel on the beach?
Yes.
Do you need recovery assets to take them in?
No, we're gonna extract them ourselves.
Roger, we are RTB. I'll copy over.
Copy good. We got it from here.
So you see the pilot in the thing. He gives you like a salute and then goes like that, and then you see the Chinook kind of like bank away.
I go like this.
All right. So it looks like they're surrounded by undead zombies and stuff like that. And as you kind of like go toward the start descending, like going toward the ground, you can see kind of standing amidst them is a 7.5-foot skeleton with 4 arms.
Gotta love that.
Wait, I'm gonna move the aircraft into fixed wing flight.
Okay.
No, put her down.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the Osprey propellers are huge, right?
They are huge.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So I'm going to take that skeleton's head off with a close.
No,
because now that we're in fixed wing flight, that's my jam.
You're
Dude,
gonna
that's Matt. That's Matt Damon, right?
No. Oh, I thought that was the bad guy.
No. It's you judging by the gear that he's carrying and stuff like that. And,
yeah, he's got all our shit.
That's my guy.
somebody had put like a tiny little American flag sticking out of the hole in his skull.
Okay. All right.
Friendly fire is
Well,
not
then I'll miss him and try to do a low pass and see how many of the undead I can clean up with just one strafing run along the beach. See how many I can just wipe out.
All right, a 5 or 6 in a piloting roll.
I rolled an actual 6.
Nice.
Well done.
Nice. Okay, so you guys descend once you go into fixed wing, the whole thing banks, right? And as it banks, you guys are coming in for a low pass, and you just shred right along the beach. There's a second there where you might have clipped a rock and things are kind of jarring for a minute. But then you pull back up, trailing body parts and all sorts of devastation as you climb back into the sky.
Can we shoot? Can we shoot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start by blasting the big 4-armed skeleton.
No, that's ours guy.
No, apparently it's not.
I tell him to run. I tell Matt Damon, run.
Yeah, he's going to hear that over the noise of the propellers and the sound of my machine gun. Cut loose.
We're telepathic buddies.
I'm going to open the suppressive fire with my 240.
I'm so very proud of you. Okay.
He's AC 3.
I got a 16, so I know I hit the bastard.
Why are you shooting our own assets?
He's not our own asset. He's the evil twin brother of our asset. And
he's never done anything to you. And
I'm shooting it and the zombies beside it.
Yeah.
Well, whatever crazy shit you want to say, but you're shooting our assets.
No, I'm not.
I'm just hosing the zombies.
Okay.
Is your rank still on Velcro?
Yeah, you can take it away if you want for engaging in the enemy and trying to have my allies survive. You can take it away if you want.
Engaging the enemy, but engaging in the enemy.
That's what I heard too.
A whole different thing.
Especially a little guy with a 7-foot guy engaging in the enemy.
All right.
Well, he's not 7 foot any longer, buddy.
He's back to fuzzy status.
2d6 on that damage.
Only 2d6. That's too bad.
No, it's 2d6 for the round, and then I multiply it by the number of shots that go.
Oh, well, cool. That's wonderful beyond belief.
And then they have to make a saving throw.
I got a very nice 7.
All right. Ooh, that's gonna be nasty. Let's see. Hold on one second.
If you kill Matt Damon, you have to demote yourself.
If you say, I'm not going to do it myself.
All right, so they're actually voting in the chat right now.
I'll take whatever vote they have.
What are they voting on, J-Mac? I can't. It's scrolled up too fast.
I actually can't see it. It's messed up.
It's Nick kills everybody.
Oh, with his flyby.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't roll a 1. So you blast into the crowd of zombies, leaving a littered trail of devastation in your wake. A couple of rounds hit the skeleton. It turns around and looks up, and all 4 arms goes up as if to say, "What the hell, bro?"
Yeah, don't shoot Matt Damon.
Villanueva, are you leveling shots as well?
Yes, I'm laying down suppressive fire on all the zombies and trying to hit anything I can.
All right,
not the big dude.
So you guys. Oh, go ahead.
What were they voting on? How awesome I was? What was that?
Whether you were going to kill everybody in the flyby.
Yeah, 50-50.
50-50.
So you guys make your way through, and then I assume you go back into VTOL and start moving around again.
Yeah, that's boring mode. Okay, but yeah. Sure.
All right, so this thing kind of swings its tail. The ramp, what do you call it? The ramp is already open because you guys have been firing out, and
I'm running out of it. I'm arms open, like chariots of fire. Music is in my head. I'm running towards Matt Damon, tears in my eyes.
So you're leaving the plane and coming into our range of fire. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I'm also going to where the other people are, because we have to pick people up, right?
Yeah, they're picking people up right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Lamb and the 4-armed skeleton start picking up cannons and moving them onto the ship.
Come on, are you kidding me?
not the boat. Your aircraft.
Is our aircraft capable of carrying all that weight?
Oh yeah. So
All right.
they put them in. They start strapping things down. The crew chief is like locking them into place, and he looks at you. He goes, "Hey kid," and he's like calling over to Benny. He's like, "Hey kid, are they really gonna use these? These things look old."
Yeah, they are. You'll be surprised at what they miss.
I hugged Matt Damon, by the way.
It pats your shoulder, and then you hear the voice, command.
Do what you're doing. You're good. Just put this stuff here. I'm so glad you're okay.
Eventually you guys get everything loaded. Lamb comes up to the cockpit and it's like looking around it in wonder, and it looks at you, Rock, and he's like, "Cannons loaded."
Excellent. Is everything's off the beach?
Cannons loaded.
Sweet. All right, let's ramp up, wheels up, and rendezvous with our ship and offload our cannons.
Did the witch come into the plane?
You don't have a witch with you. You have
Druidess.
You can call her whatever you want. I will call her the witch. Did she come on the plane?
Yeah, she comes on the plane.
All right.
It's weird that you don't have more friends.
So you guys load up, lock down, and you raise up off the island. And as you're doing that, you see what looks like on the other side of the island, like another broken fortress. But this one has a giant cobra head coming out of it.
Ooh, that's probably where the real treasure is.
But you guys have this marked in your map, so you could always go back there anytime you want. Fly over.
Explore the Cobra Head Fortress.
You guys fly over.
I'm gonna hover over it and see if my crew wants to go down there and get some treasure. Benny, you want to go?
Hey, I'm all for it, buddy. Let's land.
I'm hovering right over the thing. Jump out.
Yeah, I'm not jumping out of the plane. I'm a little guy.
No. I'm hovering. You can just step right off the ramp and go in there and go killing. Weren't you Mr. Chaos?
Mr. Chaos fires his machine gun into the fortress.
All right. You get a
all the bullets bounce back, knock the Osprey down into the ground, and we're all dead.
There we go.
There's you hear it hits. You hear the round smacking stone. Every fifth round going out is a tracer, so you get this cool like laser beam effect.
I love that
as the rounds impact around the Cobra's head.
Yeah.
Nick, I need a piloting roll and a saving throw.
Lots of luck, buddy.
Saving throw is going to be a 19.
Okay, that's good.
That is good for me. Might not be good for anybody else. Piloting roll is that going to be a D6?
Yep, D6. You want a 4, 5, or 6?
I got a 4.
All right. So you're sitting there hovering. You're watching. You got Benny firing out of his side of the plane
for no apparent reason.
Everybody else going, "What the hell are you doing, Benny?"
I saw a monster.
So somewhere out of the fortress, you see this like little bead of light. The bead grows until it turns into what looks like a flaming meteor heading straight at you.
I love that.
You kind of like raise the nose of the plane, and the rotor wash pushes the plane away so that the meteor streaks right by.
Nice.
And then you kind of recover your vertical, your hover, so that you can continue to either rain rounds down at the objective or go toward the boat.
Well, no one wants to get off and disembark and explore the fortress. All right, then I'll go towards the boat.
I think we made our announcement that we're there. It may be a little dangerous to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about snake-looking things right now.
All right, so you guys hover over the ship. The crew is like, the jaws are down to their chest. The crew chief starts rigging cannons to lower by rope. And eventually, like he says, "Hey, I'm going to need a couple of strong arms here." Both Lamb and the skeleton get up.
Yeah, I tell him to go help. I tell Matt Damon to go help. He's got a couple strong arms.
They lower the bundle of cannon and shot down to the deck, and the hands start working things. We used to have an A10. We used to have A10s. Then the squadron transitioned to Predators. Yeah, Predators aren't as good as the A10.
They're not as exciting buzzing over your house in the afternoon.
I'll put on the soundtrack for some lifting music.
Just keep that down to 30 seconds for me so that we don't get dinged by copyright police. So then we get, what do you call it? You guys are hovering. The cannons get unloaded. What do you do once they're unloaded?
So now we have to kind of decide what to do because we have a ship and an aircraft, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is our next objective? It is to go recover the forge, right?
Well, that's up to you. I mean, you're pirates. You do what you want. But you now have a ship that the forge, you now have an airship that is capable of roping up the forge.
Right.
The ship that you have you can rig a floating device so that the ship can drag the forge to a new location.
Yeah.
And you also have items to allow you to work underwater after dealing with the Myrrh.
I think we have everything we need, right?
Yeah.
Well, do we have a place for the Osprey to park? One way or the other is, I guess, without losing it.
What about the camp with the fuel people? What about going there and getting some more ammo and grenades and making it happen?
That would be a 4 or 5 hour flight, and you might not, with what you've already done, you might not have the fuel left to make it all the way there.
Great.
I want to put the Osprey on the boat somehow.
How far away is the forge location from where we're at right now?
Oh, you can get there in 20 minutes by plane. It would take your boat along. It would take the Cyclops or much longer to get there because they're going to have to sail.
They do have to do it, but the Osprey could get at least the forge up now, right?
Yes. The only thing you would have to do is either rope or land the plane so you can get all of your equipment off of the boat.
Yeah.
So that you could be ready to rig, because you can't just drop ropes in the water and hope it tangles up the forge. You're going to have to go down there and deal with stuff.
Yeah.
And
is there a way to call the Myrrh to go help us retrieve the forge?
If you go back to that one beach where they met you, where Villanueva got the spear gun, and light a signal fire, that's how you can call them. They've already made an alliance with you, so they said that's how to contact them.
So here's what we'll do. We'll send the boat towards the forge. We'll take the Osprey and go to the beach and light a fire and pick up our Myrrh. Then we'll all rendezvous there, and then we'll send the Myrrh into the water. And then we'll get the ropes, we'll rope it up, and then onto the flotation device. And then we'll take it somewhere.
Where are you going to take it?
That's a big question.
You're going to have to figure that out.
We could take it to that one fortress we cleared. That could be our fortress.
And once we have the forge up, then we can manufacture some gas to refill the Osprey.
Yep. All right. So you head toward the Myrrh Beach.
Yes.
All right. So a little closer toward the beginning of the Redlands, which is the south coast of Florida. You guys make toward the beach and then land. There's already a pyre set up. So all you got to do is light it.
Okay. Benny, go out there and light it.
Benny wants to man the machine gun to protect the beach.
You're dangerous with that machine gun.
Yeah, I am. You're right.
I'll walk out there with me and Matt Damon, and me and my shiny new armor.
So your Chaos Actual, your co-pilot, takes off the helmet, and it's a woman.
Yeah, I knew it. Winner me.
She's got like light brown hair, tan skin. She's got it's very faint, but over by her ear, running down her jaw, what looks like almost like Tolkien-esque lettering, but it's not like a huge track. It's a little bit, and then when she moves her hair, you can see it traces over her ear and down her neck.
Love it.
I like her ink.
She says, "So, hotshot."
That's me.
She's like, "What are we doing here?"
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to pick up some. And who are you, by the way, my lovely?
My name is Lieutenant Amber Monroe.
I'm Captain Rock Powers.
She goes, "Don't let that go to your head, hero." She's like, "I've been here 20 years. I probably got 10 years over on you, and stretch marks you wouldn't believe. I ain't taking anybody's shit."
I'm also a pirate. How cool is that?
She goes, "That's very cool. What are we stealing?"
Well, we're gonna go get a forge, but we've got to get some mer people.
She says, "Wait, you have access to the working forge?"
I see the growing look of respect in your eyes. Yes. and that forge can get you anything.
She says, "You know how much good we could do here with a forge?"
Well, I know how much super whiskey I can make, and that's good.
Oh, you're one of those.
I am.
I could make.
She pats you on the shoulder and she's like, "All right, call me when you have something interesting." And then she kind of like walks toward the back and talks to the crew chief.
Okay.
He's also they're both probably in their like late 30s, early 40s.
Right.
They came with the first batch, so they've been here for 20 years.
Yeah.
When the crew chief takes off his helmet, you see a couple of the your crew, your remaining daggers and stuff like that. They're kind of like, is that normal? Because he doesn't have two eyes; he's only got one.
Oh, so he's the Cyclops? Is that what you're saying?
He's not as tall as like what you would imagine the fantasy Cyclops or the ones described in.
He's a dwarf Cyclops.
But he's regular man size, but he's only got the one eye.
Oh,
Interesting.
So they're talking in the back of the plane. The signal fire is lit just after the sun goes down. You guys see ripples in the water, and a bunch of the guards come out and kind of like looking around the beach and making sure that everything's safe.
Okay. I will go out. I will go out with my fishing pole.
One of them says, "In what languages does Rock Powers speak?"
American.
Language of love.
Doesn't he also speak Spanish?
He does speak. I think he does speak American and Spanish.
They say in Spanish, "If you wanted fish, we could have brought you fish."
Well, I also like to fish. It's meditational.
Si tú quieres pescado.
Yeah, right. He's like, if you wanted fish, but he says it can be relaxing.
Yeah.
He says, "Okay, we will fetch our superior."
All right. Thank you. And yeah, a fish would be good. These aren't biting.
So before you guys had dealt with one of the princes, the woman that comes out of the water is definitely not somebody to mess with. She looks very armored. She's carrying a cutlass and a very long spear, and she's got a spear gun with several spears in a quiver. She walks up and she says in Spanish, "You called, we answered."
As per our agreement, we did a favor for the mer people, and now we need to go recover an item from the bottom of the ocean. So if you'll get your best divers or whoever you want to give me and crawl in the back of my aeroplane, then we will get this done.
She says, "How does that travel over the water?"
Magic.
It flies.
And she looks at she looks at one of the other guards, and he says something in a language you don't understand, and then she says, "It flies like a bird."
It does fly like a bird. Would you like to go for a ride, my lady?
She says, "No, I definitely would not."
No,
She goes, "But I will give you guards that will go with you."
Okay, cool. All right.
She says, "I was also told to give you this," and then she hands you what looks like an oiled scroll.
Ooh, nice.
It looks like it's made of some sort of skin or something like that. Maybe like the inside of a fish's belly or something like that. But it's definitely not paper.
Okay. What does this do?
She says, "Have you never seen a map before?"
I have seen a map, and I unroll it. Is it a map?
Yes, and there's an X around a small island. So it shows the location of the forge, which you already knew. And then a couple of islands away on a very small island, there's an X over the island, and it's got a bunch of that more Tolkien-esque writing.
Okay. I can't read this Tolkien-esque writing. What does this mean?
That is the the territory where the forge is,
Okay.
your prize, is not our territory.
Okay.
So you will have to be quick to get your prize and leave. However, just a little ways from your prize, this is where your men are being held.
Ah, okay. By who?
She says a word you don't understand, and then she says, "May I touch you?"
Oh, yeah.
So,
Because I work out a lot, and so it gets kind of strained.
so you're saying that as your major workout lately has been drinking, and these people swim to exist. So like their muscle tone is off the charts. But she removes her glove, and you can see her webbed hands reach across your face. And you get an image of something slightly bigger than man-sized that kind of looks to you like a big, beefy version of the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Ah.
A Sagwathan or whatever those crazy creatures are.
Sahagwin.
Yeah, that's the one.
She says, "These things have your men."
And who invented Sahagwin, James?
I believe that they actually came from Greek legends.
Aha. Okay. Interesting. And what do Sahagwin do, James?
They're just like the creature from the Black Lagoon. They live in shallow waters, and they make nice villages. And if you irritate them, they'll sink your boat and eat you.
Ah, I see. Okay. All right. Okay. So the question is, do we rescue our people first, or do we get the forge up?
Forge for sure.
It might support a rescue effort.
So
Okay.
you know that you came with a company of airborne rangers.
Right.
So whether you leave them in that predicament or not, whether they have them all or not, you know that according to whoever this person is, this mer lady is, she's saying that that they have your men.
Here's what I think. Like, we've got time until the ship gets there. And we've got this Osprey, and we've got a machine gun and a homicidal child.
And a man with a mustache.
I like that Benny's more terrifying than the 4-armed giant skeleton.
Yeah. Why don't we go jack those dudes up and get our people back?
You do realize that there'll be officers of a higher rank than you that will take over. You do realize that, don't you?
Man, because they would probably deal with your ass. You just actually sold me on that plan.
Okay, whatever.
Let's go.
I'm ready with my machine gun.
Let's go rescue our dudes.
All right, so you're gonna head to that section of the map.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, we should make a plan. We should make a plan.
Now the question is, are these
and shoot stuff, and then we should have a ground team, which is Crowley, the daggers, the engineer, the other two guys, and then we should put guys down on the ground, and then the Osprey will kind of circle around and shoot people for him.
Well, the question would be: is the village that they're being held in underwater or above water? Because
if they're being held underwater, they'd be dead.
Well, no, not if they've been spelled or whatever so they can breathe water. So
I don't think Crowley believes in spells.
She says the entrance to their grotto is on that island. She's like, they are being held beneath it.
Oh, so we're gonna have to go in the grotto.
She says you can either go in the front door or you can swim through one of the many channels that lead inside. She goes, but they're being held beneath.
This is a hands-on operation.
Well, let's fly over it and look at it.
Kind of like the front door. Matt Damon's not much of a swimmer.
We get opportunity to
really.
make deals.
Yeah, neither am I.
The power of make-believe is a powerful thing, right?
Well, you guys all have equipment from the Mer that they left with you to outfit you. It's got like a thing you wear around your neck that will allow you to breathe, and kind of like a suit that will allow you to handle the weight of the water at depth as well as the cold.
Nice.
And I'm a pirate, so swimming comes naturally to me.
So, you guys have more than enough equipment to make that happen. So when you guys landed originally in the Forgotten Ruin, here is where your crash site was. So most likely where the forge is. There's a small island, so small you really can't even tell where it is. It's right about here, and that small island is the entrance to the grotto for what's holding your rangers.
You know, we don't have any weapons that work underwater except for the spear gun.
Well, the grotto isn't underwater. The grotto is just in there. Like the rangers aren't underwater.
Okay.
You keep saying that with such confidence.
And the female, like captain of the guard, she says this is correct. They are being held in a space with air.
See?
But it is not the majority of the space.
Yeah. Come
She's
on, it's time to get your G.I. Joe scuba gear.
Going for the heavy water.
Yeah.
I love that episode. But she says the majority of their enclosure is underwater.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to actually be hands-on underwater, not above water, more than likely with these things.
Well, do we have any explosives left? That's true.
You have a couple of bricks of explosives left. There's no more grenades. There's no more any minor explosives. Smoke grenades are done. Like you guys are out of bang.
We have bricks of what left?
You have 2 bricks of plastic explosives left.
C4.
Oh, well, that solves all the problems right there.
But if we had the forge, we'd have so much more supplies.
If we go in there and we detonate the C4 underwater when they're under the water, we'll kill all of them. Then we just get our guys. Well, I'm doing it. I fly to the island.
So you mount up and start kicking the tires and lighting the fires?
Yeah, if you guys want to stay here, that's fine. That's cool. But I am the pilot.
One question: during all these adventures, have you guys collected any daggers? What do you mean? A dagger,
like a knife?
Yeah, I mean I have a combat knife, but I'd like to have a little more edge weapons down there.
I understand. Here, have one of my magical obsidian black daggers, and you'll really enjoy how it works.
Thank you, Master Sergeant.
JR literally has like a treasure trove of weapons too.
So I'm going to fly to the island and circle it. What do we see?
So it's very nondescript. There's no ruins or anything like that. It's kind of like one of those tropical islands where people rappel down so that they can swim inside the rock face.
Oh, okay.
That's basically all it is. There's not even anywhere to really land the Osprey. There's another small island close by that is more like a mesa sticking out of the water. That's a place you might be able to land the Osprey, but you can't unless you're willing to rappel these guys down into the water.
Okay. I will land near that mesa.
All right. So you land on there, and you guys are going to swim over.
Well, I'm gonna take the bricks of plastique. I'm gonna get those all set up with detonators and everything like that. And then I'm gonna put on my scuba gear, and then I'm gonna swim over to the island.
You say Scooby gear?
Scuba gear.
All right. So you start getting into the stuff. Do you also put on armor, plate carrier, stuff like that?
I mean, can I use that while I'm swimming?
Yes. Yeah. Once you have their suits on,
okay,
and the torque that goes around your neck.
Yes.
So who's the first one to put on the torque?
I will.
The captain, of course.
All right. So you put it on, and you can kind of feel it it feels almost like one of those headsets that modern headsets where it's got the wires that goes in, but it's more like a just a piece of plastic around, and it doesn't, even though it's heavy in your hand when you put it on, it doesn't feel heavy. And once you set it on, it doesn't move. It's kind of adhered to your skin.
Right.
And you get this weird sensation of you can't breathe for a second, and then it stops.
Oh,
and everybody else standing around you sees gills open up on the side of your neck, kind of behind your ear. And when they don't draw in any water. They disappear back into your skin.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, then I'm going to get my plate carrier on. I'm going to put on my sword, my sash sword, take all my other gear and equipment with me, and I'm heading into the water.
All right, everybody else jocking up and doing the same?
Yep.
Yep.
Gonna make believe I'm a Navy SEAL. I'm gonna start on my book right now.
All
No
right.
camera crew though.
So yeah, no camera crew. All right, so you guys, descend down the rock face. There's like a little trail that you can kind of descend down, and then enter the water. The Mer ask if they can take the lead.
I would love that. I like that kind of ambition. Then I look.
I say my goodbyes to Matt Damon because he's not coming with us.
It
I
asks for
feel bad.
it asks for a command, like stay here, go with you.
It's not like Matt Damon needs to breathe. Why can't he come?
Yeah, but I'm afraid he'll just be at the bottom of the ocean the whole time. Because, he can't really swim.
And someone might accidentally stab him in the back.
I don't think that would happen. I think he'd kill you.
Crowley's love and affection for Matt.
Maybe he could guard our Osprey with Lamb.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. He should be with Lamb.
Okay.
Well, you got Lamb, you got the crew chief, you got the pilot Amber, the co-pilot rather, and
she wants to kiss me goodbye for good luck. I'm cool with that.
She says, "Make it back. We'll see what happens."
Ooh, baby, I got a reason to live.
So I leave him with Lamb.
All right, so Lamb
It's
kind of
like a scene from like White Fang. No, you can't come with us. You gotta go.
Lamb looks at you and says, "If when you're not here, he decides to try and eat someone, should I throw him into the water?"
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Done.
And then Matt Damon, do not try to eat anyone. Behave.
It just looks at you with its blank expression and the ancient armor that it's wearing. So you guys hit the water. You start the Mer aren't just swimming there; they're swimming to outcroppings. They're using beds of kelp. It looks like they're using principles of stealth underwater to try and navigate you guys, which is very, very difficult because these Caribbean waters are crystal blue. You can see a good long way off. They can see very far. With the torques on your neck, you can not only breathe the water, but you can also see in near dark blackout conditions. So,
Hell yeah.
after a little while, they kind of get to what looks like a fissure in the stone that is rising up out of the water.
Is there a bathroom nearby? I gotta pee.
You're in the ocean. You'll never know.
Is that what communicating with the merman? Is that the entrance?
And it's weird because when you're speaking, it's not coming out as like English. It's coming out almost like in the same language they use, which seems to travel through the water very well.
It sounds like Flipper.
This is one of the many entrances. We'll have to be careful on the way in. Do you want to lead, or do you want us to?
I'd like to lead.
Okay. Take the lead. Do you have a weapon that will work underwater?
I have my sword sash.
He hands you his spear gun.
Ooh, nice. Man, this is G.I. Joe for one time. All right.
I don't feel special anymore.
This feels good. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I feel very motivated.
When you say, do you say that out loud, Villanueva?
Yeah.
One of the mermen looks at the weapon you're carrying and says, I know people who would give several fortunes for what you're holding right now.
Ooh.
I feel slightly more special. The captain pointing in goes that way. Speaking from experience.
I will enter slowly and cautiously using all my pirate duelist skills.
All right, so you are kind of making your way through. It's a little murky in here. You get to an air pocket. You can see it because the water is kind of reflective at the top. It looks like there might be some like lichen, however you want to say it, on the surface beyond the air pocket. That's kind of lighting things up a little bit because otherwise it was very dark in here. Do you surface or do you continue?
I'm going to observe and see if I can see anything through the other side, any shapes or forms.
It's just it looks just like an air pocket,
Okay.
like if somebody was swimming without what you're using,
Okay.
you'd be able to surface here for a quick bit and then go.
Is that so it's not, you don't need it.
No, you don't need it. Yeah.
No, but you don't need to go up to the pocket to continue the trail in.
Correct. Yep.
Then I'm going to bypass it.
All right. After a few minutes, you get to an outcropping where it opens up a little wider. And toward the ceiling of the chamber, it's completely filled with water. So it's totally submerged. Excuse me. And floating at the top, kind of like on an angle, with spear guns, very reminiscent of what you're carrying, are two of these like creatures from the Black Lagoon people.
Okay, I'll summon the lead mer dude forward, and I'll say, okay, we've got 2 sentries. Is this the main chamber or an outer guard area?
Probably an outer guard area.
Okay. Can you take them out, or should we try to take them out?
We can take them out if you want. If we try to fire spear guns in here and you miss, these things are very fast.
Okay. So what's the best way to take them out?
Probably multiple spear guns and not to miss, especially his. And he points to Villanueva's gun. He says that one is special.
Okay.
I feel like more special.
Then let's do that. Let's all set up and let's divide into, let's everybody take A or B.
He says we should minimize the amount of people we pull forward.
Okay.
Their sense of smell underwater is pretty acute.
Okay. Cool. Then let's put 2 on each.
All right. So who's going to be taking a shot?
Villanueva, we want you to take a shot. Richardson, you want to take a shot?
Is he muted? Oh, there he is.
I don't have a spear gun, so I don't
One
know.
of the mermen can give you one of theirs.
All right, yeah, if they want to pass on a nice toy, I will put it to use.
Benny, would you like to take a shot?
No, I plan on stabbing what's left.
Hey, what if we tie a rope around Benny to one of the spears and shoot it? Joking.
Okay. And I'll take a shot. How about one of the mermen? Let's go.
All right. All right. So who's shooting first?
I will. I'll cue on me. I'll take the guy on the right. I got an 11.
You're what level are you?
I have not formally become a duelist, so I think I'm a 4th level pilot.
4th level pilot. An 11 just hits them.
Yay! Damage.
It's 1d6 plus 3.
1d6 plus 3. How about 6?
Nice.
Nice. All right. So you pull the trigger. You feel the report of the weapon as it cavitates through the water. The spear hits it in the gut. And this is all happening at once because I assume you guys are shooting all at once.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who else was shooting? Richardson? Are you shooting the same one that Chaos Actual hit?
Sure, why not? I'll back him up.
Okay.
So you have a pack in your clothes, Jamie?
15.
15. 1d6 plus 3.
I'm sorry, what?
1d6 plus 3 for damage.
All right.
I want to say hi.
Hi.
5.
5. Okay, so Nick pulls the trigger. The first arrow flies in, kind of hits it in the belly. It doubles over, and as it doubles over, the second spear comes in, hits it like in the neck, severs its spinal column, and it starts spasming. It starts spasming from the effects of the weapon. So that brings us over to Bren. Go ahead.
Yeah, I rolled a 18.
An 18. Give me damage. 2d8.
2d8. Okay. Ooh. Wow. 2.
Okay. Anybody else shooting?
We're going to have one of the Myrrh take a shot.
All right. He takes a shot.
Awesome dice are not awesome today.
All right. So you wing it, and it kind of punctures its forearm and shoulder, and it recoils back and kind of pulls out its own version of the spear gun. And as it goes to take a shot, the Myrrh catches it in the mouth. And the Myrrh's gun has a line attached to their spear. And as you look back, when the Myrrh come on land, they look like kind of like humans with like just slightly different features. Their hair always looks slick. Their fingers are webs and stuff like that. But underwater, these things have the tails of giant fish. And one of the guys in the security element has more like a shark's tail. He grabs onto the line and swims the other way. The one that they captured gets dragged in, and they're dragging it right towards you, Benny, for the stab.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Is it possible that I can get a backstab on the shark that's leaving?
That's our guy.
That's he's part of your security element.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Then I'll take the backstab. Sorry.
So you're going to backstab the Sahagin as it passes by?
Affirmative.
All right.
I got a delightful 19.
All right, that's a hit. Go ahead and give me damage.
Okay. I only did 4.
All right. So it passes by. He swims in and inserts the blade backwards along its spine, and he debones it like a fish as the thing.
Yeah.
As the what do you call it? as the two Sahagin are dragged from the grotto. When you surface, when you come out into the chamber, it looks just like a chamber with 3 successive chambers leading off of it, or 3 passages leading off of it. And there's glowing like fungus or lichen on them. One of them has like an arrow in like bluish, another one is greenish, and another one is reddish.
Any footsteps?
No, all swimming. No paths.
Okay.
So this entire chamber is submerged.
Well, Captain, which way do we go?
So we've got blue, red, and green.
Yes.
Do the mermen know which way to go to our buddies?
They don't. They've never had their people captive from these guys before.
Let's go with red.
All right. So you guys make it up that passage. The guy with the shark fin comes up, and he puts his hands up, and you can see like a small, almost like a typhoon in the middle of the water between his hands. And then the typhoon stops. You can feel the drag that it was creating cease. And then he just starts swimming along beside you again.
I ask him what that was.
He says, and his voice is not like sandpaper deep, but it's deep and almost musical, kind of like a baritone singing. And he says, "They're scent. They smell blood and entrails, and at great distances. Any combat site we must sanitize."
Okay.
He goes, "This pushed the smell back out to the sea."
Very smart. Okay.
So you guys enter the red passage. You continue down the passage for approximately 200 feet, and then it surfaces. Inside this, it's a huge, like almost like an entrance, where a cave opening, stalactites, stalagmites coming out of the water. You can see these things are on land, and what looks like buildings carved into the rock faces.
So this is their dwelling place.
Seems like, or maybe a fortress or something, because they said that the Rangers would be held in a grotto, but their actual fortress is underwater.
Ah, I see. Okay. Does it kind of look like a fortress? Are there defensive things that we can identify?
Oh yeah, there's several like almost like crow's nests spaced throughout with more of these creatures on it. They have spears and spear guns. There's a big honkin' one wearing some sort of shell armor on the beach. He's got a net wrapped around him, and he's holding a trident. And he's seems to be supervising humans that have collars on, and they're walking. They don't look like your rangers. They look like they look kind of like locals that have been enslaved. And they're walking into one of the buildings.
Are there any of these creatures near the water or in the water?
There's a kind of like one of those crow nests,
Yeah.
with a small ladder. So it seems like they swim over to the nest and then climb out so they can look into the water to observe anybody coming too close.
Okay.
And there's one of those sentries posted up there.
I asked the Mur if they can get him and bring him for an interrogation. If we could do a takedown on him.
We can try.
Yeah.
Is there? Do you have anyone who has the gift
Of interrogation or
of magic?
Of magic. Well, we did, but he's on a booty call this weekend.
I don't understand what that means.
Wait, we have a Kuchenmeyer. You can do magic, right? You're a magic guy.
I can make water.
Magic.
Magic mustache?
We do. We have a magic man.
With your abilities,
Yeah.
Booger, you can actually like talk to some of the kelp and plants and the rock and stuff like that. You can move through it pretty easily, but you can't like make it grow or create spikes or thorns just yet.
Will it talk back?
What is it
Will it talk back
to you?
Okay.
It is sassy.
So how about this? Let's see if I can get some G2 out of the fauna around me, or flora rather, and see if I can hunt down people that look like us. For former soldiers or the type, if they've seen them walk past or in what direction.
So you guys are kind of just hanging out at like the opening in the rock. You haven't entered the chamber because if you enter too quickly, this sentry that's close by will probably see you. But as you're talking with it, it's not like, "Hi, I'm Dave the Mushroom," blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
It's more like you get whispers and kind of hints of things.
What
And
have
as
you
you're-
seen walk by?
Yeah, and as you're asking, you see some of the lichen along the bottom start to glow. There's like a greenish bluish glow coming out of it, and it lights up in a path all the way to one of the buildings, and then crawl like the because this stuff is all over the place. It some of the fungus on the side of the building lights up in the same fashion until you get to like the second story of that building, and the Haugen are going nuts. They're like they're pointing, they're barking in their guttural language. They're what do you call it? You see people calling for reinforcements. They don't know what's going on, but you get a hint from from talking to the landscape that the spirits of this place are telling you they're in that second story of that far building.
So we've got a target. Okay. Well, I've got that much, guys. Yeah, we know where we have to go.
So we need two things. We need an attack and we need a diversion. We need an attack and we need a rescue element. Who wants to lead the attack element, Master Sergeant?
I can certainly do that if you want, sir, but I would think the captain would want to lead.
Actually, I was thinking since I highlighted our target, can I talk to the kelp and go, hey, it would be nice if you start highlighting that thing in a very far corner as in my mind, as a distraction. And can you, just say hi to everybody from back over there and see if you can get people to go that way? That would really be awesome. And it'd be, I'd owe you one.
Give me a wisdom check.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I got a 12, and I have a 12.
That's good.
All right.
So you hear the whispers start like drifting in and out of your consciousness. The glow immediately ceases, and then you see another glow, like a big, huge path form, and an entire building gets highlighted, and then it just stops. So it keeps bathing this huge chamber in light and then cutting out again. Right. And this happens several other times to different buildings around. And then you see almost like the lights on a runway kind of leading planes to where they need to go. You see the Lycan activate its light source, trail into the water, and then leave under the light travels out through through another passage. And you see like 3/4 of the Saugan that just arrived jump into the water and start following the light.
Excellent.
Nice. Good job.
Nice. Pro move. All right, let's move ashore and rescue our dude. Let's skewer that guy in the thing, and there you go.
Yeah. So we'll have to pick this up next time when Sci-Fi Writers are playing old school D&D. We want to thank everybody who came out to the chat and for the awesome level 3 hype train earlier, man. That was badass. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it. Thanks everybody for coming out, and for our special guests, Rob and Jesse, for sitting in again and playing our Air Force daggers. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Thank you for having us.
And we will catch you next. Yeah, absolutely. Will you be able to come back to take on the remainder of this adventure for us?
Sure.
Awesome. So we'll catch you next time when Sci-Fi Writers are playing old school D&D.